Hello guys, welcome back to Read with Rithwik. In today's Read with Rithwik episode, we have another Peter Rabbit story. It's The Tale of Tom Kitten. Let's get started. The Tale of Tom Kitten by Beatrix Potter. Once upon a time, there were 3 little kittens, and their names were Mitten, Tom Kitten, and Moppet. They had dear little fur coats on their own, and they tumbled around the doorsteps and played in the dust. But one day, their mother, Mrs. Tabitha Twitchit, expected friends to tea, so she fetched the kitten indoors to wash and dress them before the fine company arrived. First, she scrubbed their faces. This one is Moppet. Then she scrubbed their fur. This one is Mitten. Then she combed the tail and whiskers. This is Tom Kitten. Tom was very naughty and he scratched. Mrs. Tabitha dressed Moppet and Mittens in clean pinafores and tuckers, and then she took all the sorts of elegant, uncomfortable clothes out of a chest drawer in order to dress up her son Tom. Thomas. Tom Kitten was very fat, and he had grown. Several buttons bursted off. His mother sewed them on again. When the 3 kittens were ready, Mrs. Tabitha unwisely turned them out into the garden to be out of the well while she made hot butter toast. Now keep your frocks clean, children. You must walk on your hind legs. Keep away from the dirty ash pit and from Sally Penny and from the pigsties and the puddle ducks. Moppet and Mittens walked down the path unsteadily. Presently they trod upon their pinafores and fell on their noses. When they stood up, there were several green smears. "Let us climb the rockery and sit on the garden wall," said Moppet. Then they turned their pinafores back to the front and went up with a skip and a jump. Moppet's white tucker fell down into the road. Tom Kitten was quite unable to jump when he was walking upon his hind legs in trousers. He came up the rockery by degrees, breaking the ferns and shedding the buttons right and left. He was all in pieces when he reached to the top of the wall. Moppet and Mittens tried to pull him together. His hat fell off, and the rest of his buttons bursted. While they were in difficulties, there was a pit-pat, paddle-pat, and the 3 puddle ducks came along in the hard high road, marching one behind the other and doing the goose step. Pit-pat, paddle-pat, pit-pat, waddle-patch. They stopped and stood in a row and stared up at the kitten. They had very small eyes and looked surprised. Then the 2 duckbirds, Rebecca and Jemima Puddle Duck, picked up the hat and tucker and put them on. Mittens so that she fell off the wall. Moppet and Tom descended after her. The pinafores and all the rest of Tom's clothes came off out on the way. "Come, Miss Drake Puddle Duck," said Moppet. "Come and help us to dress him. Come and button up Tom." Mr. Drake Puddle Duck advanced in a slow sideway manner and picked up the various articles. But he put them on himself. They fitted him even worse than Tom Kitten. "It's a very fine morning," said Mr. Drake Puddle Duck. And he and Jemima and Rebecca Puddle Duck set off up the road, keeping step, pit pat paddle pat, pit pat waddle pat. Then Tabitha Twitchit came down the garden and found her kittens on the wall with no clothes on. She pulled them off the wall, smacked them, and took them back to the house. "My friends will arrive in a minute, and you are not fit to be seen. I'm affronted," said Miss Tabitha Twitchit. She sent them upstairs, and I'm sorry to say, she told her friends that they were in bed with the measles, which was not true. Quite the contrary. They were not in a bed, not in the least. Somehow there were very extraordinary noises overhead, which disturbed the dignity and repose of the tea party. And I think that some day I shall have to make another larger book to tell you more about Tom Kitten. As for the Puddle Ducks, they went into a pond. The clothes all came off directly because there were no buttons, and Mr. Drake Puddle Duck and Jemima and Rebecca have been looking for them ever since. That's the end of the story. How quick was that? Well, this is the end of this video. If you want to see more, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can never miss out on any of my YouTube channels. So, this is Rithwik signing off. Bye-bye.